What's up, everybody? Welcome to Life Knowledge. My name is Justin Alphabet. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. Today we're going to be talking about how to grow your credit. Okay, so you want to grow your credit, and you may be having a difficult time. I realize that a lot of people are going to be, coming to this video from different areas of credit. So we're going to talk about beginning, intermediate, and advanced credit. You can skip to whichever part you think is most important, or you can listen to the whole video. So first off, let's talk about beginner credit. The best way to start out with beginner credit is to find a local bank near you. Do a little bit of research on the banks before you go to them, and find out which banks will help you get a credit card from a low value credit card. For example, you can get a secured credit card, which is basically a credit card that you pay for. So it's like you have to put the money into the account before you can actually spend that money. So it's like a glorified debit card for very beginning stages of building credit. If you're just barely starting your credit or whatever, I recommend as soon as you can start credit, start it. That way you can learn how to do it much quicker. Whichever bank you do choose, make sure that they have student options available too. If you're a student, most children and kids and younger people are able to get a credit card. If your parents haven't helped you set one up, you can ask another trusted adult. Typically you have a co-signer for that. You have to have a job, you have to have some proof of income or a physical address, home address. You can use other people's stuff for this as well. There's also credit borrowing, which we're not going to talk about in this video today, where you can use your parents' credit or a trusted adult's credit as your credit score or whatever. But we're not going to talk about that today. When you start out in credit, you typically have a 0 credit score unless your parents have done something previously to help you build that up. Find that out. You can go to Credit Karma. They're not sponsoring this video. You can go to Credit Sesame as well. Typically, just do those are average numbers, so they're not the best. I know Identity IQ has exact scores. You have to pay for that. It's like $20-$30. Sometimes it's worth it. You can also get a free credit score check once a year from, I think it's Vantage or other places like that. Just Google free credit score check. They may make you sign up for some stuff and never leave you alone and send you a ton of ads and a ton of credit things as well though. So I recommend just bite the bullet, spend $30 on Identity IQ. I actually think it's $1 in the first month unless you cancel or something like that. So you can spend $1. Cancellation process is easy. I just called and canceled. But then I ended up re-signing because I wanted to know, and keep an eye on my credit score because I felt like it was important. So I currently use those guys. I'm not affiliated with them, and I'm not sponsored by them. The second is the moderate stage where you have a few credit cards and you want to get more credit. I recommend, for me personally, what I did was I got some apps. There are various different apps like Cambio, Self, Kickoff, Grow Credit. Those are 4 that I use personally. I don't recommend, or I'm not affiliated with any of these products or people. They're not sponsoring this video. And I do recommend them though. They're the ones that I personally have used and had good results. I diversified it because I wanted diversity. Basically with those accounts, what you do is it's like a savings account that's building up credit for you. So you put in $100 a month as you can put in various amounts on each one. You have to find that out for yourself by looking at the apps. But imagine you're putting it into a savings account that's also growing you credit, and you get some of the money back afterwards, and they take a percentage of it. So let's say you put in $100, they get 5% for holding onto your money and boosting your credit score for you, but you get $95 back at the end, essentially. So I recommend that. It's very useful if you have extra money and you want to have a savings account that's also building your credit at the same time. The best way to have your credit grow is to diversify different types of credit. So the different types of credit are like credit cards, auto loans, student loans, mortgages. Like the more types of loans that you have, the better. There's private loans, secured loans, etc. So have at least one of each different kind if possible, because that will show a healthy and diversified group. So if you don't have an auto loan, get a small auto loan, you know, on a car, even if your car is paid off or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I know some experts like Dave Ramsey don't recommend auto loans. I disagree. I think credit is very important for a lot of reasons, and it's becoming more and more important every day. There are ways to get around that and save up your money and wait forever to get the things that you want, and that's what some people choose to do, and that's the way he chooses to do it. Credit is risky, so you have to be careful. And yes, so just remember that, you know, if you overspend your money, you're going to be in a bad place if you don't pay it off. So make sure that you never spend anything that you can't repay. I typically make sure that my balance is paid off by the end of the month every single time in full. But at minimum, you want to make sure that your card is only at 30% or 10% less of the total value. So if you have $100 in credit, you only want to spend $30 or less. If you have $100 in credit, or you also, you know, even better, 10% or less, so $10. So whatever the total amount of all of your credit is. So if you have multiple credit cards for, you know, like $1,000 in total, then you only want to spend $300 of that total $1,000 if you have two $500 credit cards, if that makes sense. If you have questions, go ahead and comment them below and I'll make more videos. If you're advanced and you want to get more credit, I would suggest hiring a credit professional to take off your derogatory marks and check into your credit score and take off derogatory marks. I have a couple guys that I've worked with. I paid like $1,000. Be careful of scammers. I can't say that enough. I'm not going to recommend that to anyone do this if you're going to, you know, be dumb. But make sure they're trusted people that are going to actually do what they say. They're certified, you know, tax professionals or whatever, or credit professionals. And just have them, you know, remove derogatory marks from your credit score. You can find out what your derogatory marks are on Identity IQ. If you guys want more information on that, let me know. But that also will raise your score a ton if you want to be like on an advanced level or above, you know, moderate. So do that, as well as I'm working with another guy who's helping me with business credit. Business credit is much more useful than like personal credit. I, as a person, have my own credit score, and my business also has its own credit score. So they're separate, but business credit can be used differently than personal credit. It can be invested, it can be, you know, it's more liquid, essentially. Like you can use it as cash flow more so. I have a guy who I can recommend to you guys as well for that. If you really want to, just comment down below. And, you know, some other things that I would recommend doing are just making sure your balance is zero, and just like spend one thing on your credit card if you want, and then once a month, and then don't use it the rest of the month. Use your credit cards as little as possible, but just enough to make sure that they're being used. Always paid in full. Diversifying your credit, making sure you pay off your loans on time, and building business credit. If you guys want more information on that, let me know in the comments. This video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to end it off here. I'm also going to let you guys know that I'm not a credit professional, and that this advice, if you take it, you are liable and responsible. I can not be held liable in any way, shape, or form for any type of credit advice that I'm giving to you. This is just my knowledge and my experience. I'm allowed to fail at my own leisure or succeed at my own leisure, and you are free to do the same. I hope this helped, and I hope that you guys had you know, a good experience here. If you guys have questions, comment below. Have the day you deserve, and let's level up.